ready to start our third batch of mead. The second batch I tasted today for the first time, and it was amazing. That is the Joe's Antique Orange Spiced Mead. So good. If you have not tried that and you make mead, you should try that. It's amazing. As I was approaching to the point where I was doing my second rack on that, I was wondering what I was going to make for my next batch. And lo and behold, Brian and Derica from City Steading posted a video that looked amazing. It's a Kilju, which is a Finnish sugar wine. And they were doing it in the style of mojitos. Well, I love mojitos. Limes, mint, sugar. What's not to love, right? So they're in the process of wrapping theirs up. But I love the idea of that so much that I decided I was going to make that my next batch. So I have a whole bunch of fresh mint. I have lemon peels. And I have organic raw cane sugar. And I have water. And that's the ingredients, besides the yeast, of course. They used 71B. I'm just following their recipe, so I have a 71B yeast. But they made 1 gallon. I'm going to make 3. 3 seems to me the appropriate batch size for my approach. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to go get the 3-gallon carboy, and I'm going to set that up. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bruise all of this mint that I have, and I'm going to stuff that down in the carboy. So let's go ahead and do that. And as you know, of course, everything I'm using has been sterilized, so that kind of goes without saying. All right, so let's go ahead and bruise the mint and put it in the carboy. I initially thought about removing the stems, and as I started to cut the first one off, I realized that there's a lot of the mint goodness in the stem as well, so I'm crushing them as well, hoping to release some more of the mint oils. Okay, I feel like I've got a pretty good bruising going on here, and let me tell you, it is very aromatic in here. Okay, let's go ahead and fill the carboy. This is going to be the hard part. So their recipe was 1.5 ounces of mint for their 1 gallon batch. So I actually got 5.5 ounces because I thought I was going to be removing the stems, but 5.5 ounces for the 3 gallons. And 2.5 pounds of the cane sugar per gallon. So I bought 9 pounds because I only could get them in 3-pound allotments. So I have 9 pounds. I'll be using 7.5. And as I'm going through the mint, I'm making sure that I don't include any pieces that appear dead. Some of these long stems, I'm just crushing down the stem to release the oils. All right, there's our mint added to the mix. The next thing I'm going to do is put the sugar in. All right, so I have a funnel. It's got a very small hole, though. I don't know how helpful that's going to be pouring the sugar in. We're going to find out. And if it's not so helpful, we'll find another way to do this. But all right, ready? And go. Oh, this is working perfect. All right, there's 3. And 6. And then half of this one will make 7.5. we have the mint and the sugar in there. Next thing I'm going to do is drop in the lime peels. And then we'll heat up some water and put it in there and start to mix and dissolve the sugar. So that's the important part. But, go ahead and put the limes in. And all that's left is water. It really is that simple. So let's go ahead and, I'm going to heat some of my spring water up, and then we'll pour it in. And we'll get this to mixing, and then we'll top it off. And then let it cool, make sure it's cool enough, and then we'll drop in the yeast. Alright, I've got my water warmed up. Let's go ahead and pour it in and start getting the sugar mixed up. We'll start there. If I find I need some more water, I will add more hot water. But let's go ahead and I have my degassing wand, so I'm going to attach that to my drill and start this stirring process. So I think I'm going to get a little bit more water for this. Alright, so it looks like the sugar is nice and mixed in. Let's go ahead and take out our wand. I did get a little bit of mint wrapped around the axle there, which is fine because that just helps bruise a little more and get some of the oils out. But I do believe I'm happy with the way the sugar has been absorbed. So let's, next thing I want to do, I want to top off the water a little bit. And I'm going to let this cool down, make sure it's of a good temperature to add the yeast. Now, while this is cooling down, I'm going to start up a little trick I learned from Garrett over at Man-Made Mead. He takes a fish aquarium aerator, and he runs the hose inside and allows it to bubble for a while in order to aerate the liquid so that the yeast have oxygen. So we're going to, while this is cooling down, I'm going to aerate it with the aquarium aerator. That helps a whole lot. Okay, so get some oxygen inside the mix and give this about 10 minutes. We'll see how cool it is. The water was never terribly hot, so we're going to wait and see how quickly this cools. And then with the aeration going, we'll stop that, and then we will add the yeast, and I guess we'll cap it with a airlock, see how it works. Alright, so I took a measurement with my new laser thermometer, and this is right about 86 degrees, so it's probably okay for the yeast, but we're going to wait just a minute. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take our portable refractometer and use it for the first time. I have removed the aerator. I think we got plenty of oxygen in there. So we're going to go ahead and do the spectrometer test and see what our starting gravity is, and I'll let you know what that is in just a minute. All right, we'll record that at 1.102. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the yeast in, and I'm going to put in a little bit of the yeast nutrient. I have food grade urea and diammonium phosphate. So, and we're going with the 71B. Okay. I'm going to put in a whole packet. and 1 teaspoon per gallon. And we're just going to give it a quick little stir here, just to get the yeast and the nutrients down into the what is now the must. All right, there we have it. Mojito Kilju wine. Let's go ahead and get an airlock on this, and I'm going to set it in the sink just in case there's any kind of blowout. So, I guess we'll come back in a little bit, see if we see any activity on the if the yeast colony has made any progress. So we'll leave this here for a little bit and we'll come back. All right, how's it going? It's been a few weeks. I don't even know how many weeks now. I will put the date that I started this down below right here. But this Mojito Kilju looks like it's ready to be racked. It has stopped bubbling. We're going to go ahead and take a measurement, but we are going to go ahead and rack it. The greenery is starting to look a little questionable. But we're going to rack it off into 1 gallon carboys and see what we end up with. But yeah, looks like it's going to be an interesting batch for sure. Okay, this is going to be really quick. So I'm just going to drop a 1 gallon carboy in the sink, and I'm going to start pumping. Let's make this happen. It smells amazing. I don't know if that's good or not, but all right, we put this down through and do our best to not pick up any of the leaves in the bottom, and let's go. And while the second one's loading up, we're going to go ahead and do a quick reflectometer test on this batch and see where we are. Okay, I'm going to go right with 1.065 on that. So it seems like it's going to be pretty sweet, but it certainly was done. It was done fermenting. All right, well, I think that's going to be about it. That's about what my yield has been with these. About 2 gallons with these, I don't want to call this a melomel because it's not really a fruit, but this Kilju, it's a Kilju. This 3 gallon carboy, when I, add stuff into the top, plus all the sugar, it's not really technically 3 gallons of liquid at that point. So it's, there's loss. But I got 2 full gallons, and that's pretty exciting. So we're going to put these away and let them sit for, I don't know, month, 2 months. Let them clarify. And we'll see what happens, and then we'll bottle them up. But in the meantime, This batch is racked, and today is November 24th? Yes, indeed, racked on November 24th. Alright, well, we're going to clean up now, and next time you see us on this, well, I guess we'll be probably stabilizing. Maybe a month or so. Who knows? We'll see. Alright, well, we'll see you back then. How's it going? It's been about 9 weeks since we started this Mojito Kilju, and it's just been sitting. We went through all the holidays. I've had it in these 1 gallon carboys just sitting, and it has gotten extremely clear. It's beautiful. So I'm at the point now where I want to do a final hydrometer reading on this and taste test and to go ahead and bottle it. It's ready. It's very clear. It's very stable. I'm not even going to put any stabilizers in it. It has really calmed down, and I don't think I need any of that stuff in it. So I have the hydrometer sterilizing. We're going to quickly take a hydrometer reading and a taste test right now. I've got the bottles actually in the dishwasher sterilizing in there, so once they're ready, we'll move along with the bottling. But in the meantime, let's get these sort of housekeeping steps out of the way. All right? One of the things I'm going to do as well is I had a bit of a leftover amount here, and I went ahead and put it in a 1 gallon carboy because I wanted to test something. You know, given the time frames we have, everybody always warns you about oxygenating your ferment, and I'm just curious if it tastes any different. So I left this little bit amount with all this headspace, and we're going to go ahead and taste them both and see if there's any difference in the time frame given. I understand oxygenation will turn alcohol to vinegar at some point, but in the short period of time where it actually takes to make mead or Kilju or any of these other things, does it really make an impact? And we're going to go ahead and test that as well. Now the original reading for the specific gravity on this was 1.102. So let's see what the difference is. Okay, so this reading looks like it's at 1.030. So let's quickly do the math on that. And with that calculation, this comes out to be 9.45% alcohol by volume. It's not too bad. Having never made this before, especially with sugar, instead of honey like we do, I'd say that came out pretty decent. All right, let's go ahead and give it a taste test. All right, here we go. Mojito Kilju. Smells delicious. Oh my God. So we're looking for the minty and limeness of a mojito, and a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of sweet. Let's see what we get. That's actually really, really good. The mint came through right away. It's warming as it goes down. The mint came through right away. I tell you, it's sweet, but not too sweet. Love it. Really good. Really happy with this. I was concerned about it, to be honest. But I think it's pretty damn good. All right, let's finish this. and going to do our experiment with the other one and see if that is any different. All right. Very good. Doesn't smell much different. There is a flavor difference. It does impact the flavor. It's fine, but it's not as good. So we're going to pour that bit out. That was a good experiment. Now we know headspace matters. All right, so let me get the bottles out of the dishwasher, and we'll go ahead and start the bottling process, and we'll finish this batch up. All right, we've got the bottles. We're ready to start the bottling process. I have moved one of the gallon carboys up to this shelf here, a little bit above the bottling level. It's not enough to really get a good gravity pull on the siphon, so we're going to probably pump it, but that's okay. We've been sterilizing the equipment. Everything is sterile and ready to go. All right, here we go. Clear that is. All right, so we finished filling the bottles. I don't have anything very fancy for corking them. I'm not going to really share it with you what I've done. I basically take the size cork that fits these bottles and I jam them in with my hand. And then if there's anything left over, like you might see here, I'll just take a serrated knife and just kind of cut that off. No big whoop, no effort. But it does make it nice and flush with the top, and I've got plenty of cork in the bottle. So what I'll do now is finish the corking, which I'm practically done, and then we'll go ahead and put the shrink fit toppers on them, and then we'll label them, and that'll be it. We'll be done with this batch. All right, let's go ahead and do the shrink fit. Got everything capped. Let's go ahead and get the labels on. And there we have it, our third batch of mead. Well, it's not really a mead, it's a Kilju, but third batch of fermented beverage nonetheless, and it's pretty amazing. It's all bottled, and this episode is now complete. I don't know what we're going to make next. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'll try pretty much anything. I can't guarantee I'll succeed at it, being that I'm a noob at this, but shoot, I'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, I guess we'll see you back here next time. All right, we'll see you later.